Ready. My name's George Meyer. I'm the Stark County Sheriff, and we wanted to do a media update on what started out as a missing person case yesterday afternoon. Let me first say that if there's something that you ask me, we'll take some questions at the end. If there's something that you ask me that I can't answer, it's not because I don't want to answer, it's because I either don't know at my level yet, or it's something that I can't release as it related to the investigation, okay? We'll get started. On Tuesday, July 2nd, at approximately 12:30 in the afternoon, the Stark County Sheriff's Office received a call in which Raychel Sheridan was reported missing by her mother, Lisa. Deputies responded to the residence at the 4100 block of Orcharddale Drive Northwest in Plain Township for a welfare check and found the apartment to be empty with the door open. Deputy discovered areas of the apartment to be suspicious and proceeded to obtain a search warrant of the residence in connection with the disappearance of Raychel Sheridan. While waiting on that search warrant to be executed, deputies observed a vehicle in the area of 38th Street and Guilford Northwest that they believed belonged to our missing person. Deputies immediately initiated a traffic stop and determined the driver to be the live-in boyfriend of Raychel Sheridan, Sean Go. Sean has active warrants for burglary, grand theft of a firearm, and misdemeanor charges of domestic violence, which involved our victim. Sean Go fled on foot after exiting the vehicle and was pursued by deputies. A canine was also deployed to the scene in an effort to locate Go, but deputies were unable to locate him, which was in a dense wooded area. For some updates, extensive search efforts were deployed throughout the night with assistance of the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force, the Ohio State Highway Patrol Aviation, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol CERT team members. In the early morning hours, Sean Go was arrested by Canton Police at a local homeless center in Canton and is currently incarcerated at Stark County Jail. He's being held at the jail on the warrant charges which I mentioned previously, and he is awaiting arraignment and bond on those charges. As a result of the search warrant that was executed at the apartment, Raychel Sheridan and Sean Go, evidence of foul play was discovered. Detectives determined that Sheridan was murdered inside the apartment. At approximately 9:24 a.m., today's date, Canton sanitation workers located a body believed to be that of Raychel Sheridan in the southwest area of Canton. The investigation remains ongoing, and at this time, really have not much further information related to the case, but I'll be happy to answer any questions for you that you may have.
Sheriff, there were a lot of things on social media stating that Raychel was pregnant. Was she pregnant?
That I don't know. I've seen those. In fairness to your question, we've seen those. That's something the investigation will have to determine. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned that the responding deputy originally to the apartment said that there was stuff inside the apartment that seemed suspicious, granting that warrant. Can you elaborate on what that was?
I don't really know. I haven't talked to that deputy, but apparently there was something that looked amiss to them. Most of our deputies have had experience in training, and when they went in the apartment, they felt that something wasn't quite right. When they determined that nobody was at the apartment, they then determined to get a search warrant so they could investigate further. The further investigation, as I said, revealed that we believe there was a homicide that occurred in that apartment.
Sheriff, I know that domestic violence, previous domestic violence and other charges, other than those, do you know, have you had any previous calls to that residence? Anything?
I believe there were previous calls both from him and her, and there appears to be some cycle of domestic violence there. There was an active warrant for him for domestic violence. I think that occurred sometime in May. Apparently he did not show up for court on that, and so there was an active warrant on that case. And that did involve our victim.
Sheriff, do you know specifically where she was found? We've heard rumors that it was at Mother Goose Land in Canton.
Yeah, I think it was in that area. I don't know specifically. I was not there, and I did not respond, so I think it was in that area. Not yet.
Our death?
I mean, it's pretty early. That, we just discovered, the victim's body and really just kind of made a preliminary identification within the last hour and a half. So no, we don't have that yet.
Will Stark County be handling?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. This occurred in Plain Township. We're pretty confident that the crime occurred in Plain Township, so yes, we will be handling.
Sheriff, you said there's a history of domestic violence between the two of them already. Do you know how long they've been together?
I really don't. I was told by her mother about 2 years.
There was a lot of interest for this young woman, and, a lot of folks, looking for her and, upset or touched by the story, a message for the community, for her family today.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Do
I
you
know.
have a message for?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, we want to thank our community for reaching out, both on social media. We've received a number of calls, people asking to help. And quite frankly, in the early morning hours, we were preparing for search parties to search certain areas. We had targeted areas that we wanted to search, whether it be fortunate or unfortunate. We had the sanitation engineers call us and say they discovered a body in that southwest area. So, but we thank the community for their interest. Our heart goes out to the community, the family, for this loss, another tragic death that certainly is unfortunate to our community and what we like to think is somewhat preventable. Domestic violence is a horrible cycle, and folks that are caught in that cycle need to know that there is help out there. We have teams here that can help folks. The courts have teams that can help folks. Our domestic violence shelters can help folks. And so my message to the community is if you yourself find yourself in a domestic violence situation, reach out to us or somebody in the community for help.
Sheriff, Sheridan's mom made the 911 call, or made the initial call for assistance. Do you know if that call was made from Sheridan's residence there in Plain Township?
I don't know that. She did arrive at the apartment when we arrived to check for the welfare of Jacqueline initially, but I don't know that she called from there, okay? And it was not, just to be clear, it was not a 911 call. It was just a general call of, hey, I haven't heard from my daughter in a couple days. Her communication with me on, we communicate via text, and her communication fell off, and it's my understanding that she was aware that she was no call, no show for her employment. And that was unusual. The mother said that was unusual for her.
So this, I know you're still investigating, but this could have, her death could have happened several days ago.
Well, again, that's part of the investigation, and I don't know that, but that's certainly a possibility.
Sheriff, once Go had fled from the deputies, at that point, did you guys already start suspecting the worst?
We did not. We had not executed a search warrant on the apartment. We did not really anticipate that he had been involved in, the crime that he had been. We knew that there had been some domestic violence in the home. We weren't sure what was going on at that time. But understand, he was already wanted by authorities for previous warrants. So to us, while it was unusual that he fled, it's not extremely unusual that you flee if you got a couple felony charges hanging over your head.
Sheriff, has Sean said anything about what happened to his girlfriend?
I'm sorry, could you
Has Sean made any comments to investigators about what happened?
He has not.
Sheriff, can you elaborate a little bit more on how you were able to locate Sean? Was there a tip sent in or something, or how you were able to find him?
I'm not real clear on how that happened. He either showed up at a shelter in Canton or they seen him. Again, back to the point of our community's fantastic. There was a lot of social media buzz going on as related to this case. And I think somebody seen him from being on social media and reported it to Canton Police, but I'm not sure on that. That was something that, Canton picked him up this morning, so.
Sheriff, do you know where Rachel worked?
All I know is it's a fast food restaurant in the area.
Did she live by herself in this apartment, or
She lived with him in the apartment.
and just those two?
Just those two, yes.
Was her mom aware of the domestic issues with their relationship?
That, I believe they were aware that she had some troubles because in conversation with the family, she had moved out for a period of time when there was some trouble and lived with the mother. So I'm thinking they did know that there might have been some problems, but I don't know that they knew to the level of what it was. And I'm not sure that they were completely clear on that. Well, thank you all for coming in and with your interest in this story, and a special thanks to our community for their diligence throughout the night and giving us tips and helping us with this case. Appreciate y'all.